Okay, we are looking at 2.3 now. We're making our way through this pretty quickly now. This is about parameter changes, and what it means is what happens when I change the slope, the y-intercept, how does it change the graph? So we already know that the slope is what changes how the graph increases or decreases. Is it going fast? Is it going slow? Is it going down? Is it going up? We don't know. So, or we know that based on the slope. And then, of course, the y-intercept changes where it starts along the y-intercept. So we're going to go down here. And the first thing I want to say is numbers 1, 2, and 3, you are going to do exactly like you did in the last lesson. So go back and watch 2.2 if you haven't yet. And instead of f of x, you're going to use y. So that's the key. This is going to be y instead of f of x. Just put a y there. And that's how you're going to type these into the Desmos system. So just be aware of that. And yeah, that'll get you through 1, 2, and 3. Because I'm going to focus on the other questions in this lesson. Just 2 more. And so let's talk through what happens here. So it says given f of x, remember that's y equals 1/3 x plus 10. The slope is multiplied by 6, and the y-intercept divided by -5. So what we're going to do is we're going to go type in y equals, we're going to use y. This loads for me. There we go. Let's clear out all the stuff from our last problem. Y equals -1/3 x plus 10. Okay, so that's the original graph right there. That's what this equation looks like. So then let's do this. Let's multiply the slope by 6. So watch this. I'm gonna copy this actually. I think I can just make a copy. Let's see. No. All right. Well, let's type it again. Y equals -1/3 x plus 10. And they want us to do 2 things. They want us to multiply this times 6. Okay, interesting. And they want us to multiply the 10. They would divide by -5. So let's divide it by -5. Okay, so we actually did what they told us to do. We multiplied the slope by 1/3, and we divided the y-intercept by -5. And it looks a little crazy, but it did change the graph. So let's see if anything happens. The y-intercept shifts up. No, actually, the y-intercept went down between the 2 graphs. So that's not right. The slope gets steeper. This red line, yeah, it did get steeper. This blue line is much steeper. It's decreasing more quickly. So that's true. It didn't get less steep because we just talked about that. Did the y-intercept shift down 12? Right. Well, it was at 10, and now it's at -2. So yeah, that is a difference of 12. So it did go down 12 from the red to the blue. So those are my 2 answers. And that's all you have to do on these. And then I'm going to leave you to do this. And all you have to do is go back to Desmos and type the answer choices one at a time into another graph. And one of these will match the changed graph that we did in blue here. So that should be all you have to do there is find which one of these matches this changed version of our graph. And I'll let you do that one on your own. And then I will be posting videos here.